everyone, it's Lisa from DoodleDrawArt, and today we're going to draw Alpakizi. We're going to start off by drawing a circle for his eye, right here in the middle of the page. And then we're going to make some sketch lines to help us figure out where to place the character. So he's going to have a nose that sticks out from the side of his eye. So again, I'm just floating a little circle on here. It'll be fairly faint. This is just a sketch line, so you won't necessarily see it very well. And I'm trying to get the feeling for the proportions. So an eyeball and a snout. His mouth is going to go somewhere in here. And then he's going to have one ear here and one ear here. And this is all very basic. But then his neck is an oval like this. And his body is another oval like this. Maybe you're starting to see the shape of an alpaca for Alpakizi. And then his tail is going to stick up like this. And his legs are going to come down like this. So there's going to be one leg here and one leg here. And now we can see that we can fit this entire character on our page nicely, and we're making sure that we like the proportions of the various parts of the character. So this is just his eyeball, and we're going to have a little bit of the head shape that comes up above that. So I think we're good to go. So let's start off with the eyeball, and we'll draw a proper circle right over the sketch line, just like that. And then we'll darken up the top edge because it's going to be an eyelid. And then inside we'll draw a circle right here, and we'll color that in black. But we won't color in just like a jelly bean shape right here, and then a little circle underneath. So all of that will be white. Just make sure there's white space in the middle of that. All of that will be white, and this part out here will be filled in with black with our Sharpie when we go over this with our final lines. All right, so there's his eyeball. Now we're going to draw his smile. So we're going to come down below the eyeball. We're going to jump a fair distance and draw a nice big swooping line that comes up this way and caps off at his cheek. And then we're going to draw from here. We're going to leave a little space and angle down this way. This is for his tooth. And we're going to come over and stop. And then we're going to come back to this corner here, and we're going to draw like a half of a heart shape for his open mouth, and it's going to touch here and come into the corner. So let's try that. We'll start here, we'll go around and touch into the corner. Great. And then his tongue is just sitting inside there. You can see it because his mouth is open. And we'll draw his bottom lip. So I'm just going to clean up some of these little sketch lines that are still showing from behind. So we don't need to see those. Maybe it'll help you see the lines a little better. But there you go. Great. Okay, so what next? Let's draw his nose. So this looks like it bumps out like this, but it actually doesn't, because I drew a circle, and his nose is not actually quite a circle. It's going to be a little flat on this end here, and a little more angled this way with a swooping line, and a little more curving on the bottom. So let's start right up here, touching his eye. Let's go down this way and over, and then right here we're going to stop and curve down. And then we're going to add another curve here that comes under and stops right about where his mouth started. So you see a line from his mouth here, and we're stopping just underneath that. Great. Let's just clean up some of these little sketch lines again so you can just see my final lines. All right, so now from here, we're going to come down for his neck and stop. Great. Okay, let's go back up to the top of his head, and we're going to add in his head and his ears. So we'll start right here. We're just going to come up and over a little bit like this, and we're going to stop when we get to this other ear because we need to draw that in the foreground. This ear goes in the background, and so it's just like a piece of rice. It goes up, a little bit curved at the top, and down. Not too big, just like that. So you should always work with pencil when you're learning to draw something for the first time, because you won't always like the very first line that you draw, and it's super important to make sketch lines when you're drawing anything so that you can see how it's building itself. Now, looking at his eye, we're going to come out this far here, A little further. We're going to come out this far. So the bottom of his eyeball is where the bottom of his ear is going to be. So do you see where the black circle ends? The bottom is right here. Just going to come across like this, and that's how low this other ear is going to start. I just drew a small oval there, but it's going to be all the way down to here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a piece of rice at the top, up and over and down. And we're going to head down even further and towards this line here. And then we're just going to stop at the bottom, and it's still a bit curved, and then up to the top here. Great. Now we'll erase our sketch lines. Looking good. All right, so now to draw the back of his neck, it's just going to come along here behind his mouth and heading toward his body. So we can go ahead and draw that line. Starts here and is coming down this way, and then we can continue over his back. So this is a big oval that I floated, but really we're just going to make a line that's going to head toward the tail here in a curving manner. So it's going underneath that circle that I had drawn to mark the place. So just like that. It's just a scoop. Comes down from his neck and just keeps scooping along just like that. And then his butt comes over this way, and then we're going to come around the bottom like this and then towards the ground. We'll fill in some more about his toes over here. So let's go over to the other side and do the same thing over here. So we're going to have a bump that comes out. So this is like his body section, and now we're into the leg section. So let's decide where the ground's going to be. Let's make it right here, standing on the ground. So from here, we're just going to come down until we get to the ground, or almost to the ground. We're just going to put a little toenail on here. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's put a little toenail at the end. And then we can make his leg coming up here. And then on this side, we're going to see his front leg sticking out in front. So let's go back up to this spot right here where it curved and changed from his body to his leg. Let's put our pencil down right here, and let's just come over this way a little bit. It's like his chest. And then from here, we're going to come down to this first line again. And now we're going to draw his toenails for the front leg. It's going to jump out and down like this, and then a little triangle one like this. And then his leg keeps going back a bit further, and then it comes up here. Great. And now we're going to have like his furry body section down here. So we're going to have a line that comes over and down, and then this one's going to go up like this, and from the point here we can go up like this. From halfway through here we can go up like this, and then just put one more line in there to make it look fluffy. Great. Now we just have to draw his back leg peeking from back here. So we're just going to come from this line and over and make it a toenail there. Okay, so we've got all this done. Let's just erase all these little sketchy lines. You know what's left? What else do we have to draw here? You see one thing we didn't do. It's back here. It's this cute little tail. All right, so we're just going to come over this way and up and over. And then we're going to come out and over, and then down and around, and then touch. Excellent. All right, so those are all of the lines that we need to draw Alpakizi. And now what I'm going to do is grab my Sharpie and go over this with marker. I think maybe what I'll do first, though, is color his ears with red, because if you look at Alpakizi, you'll see that his ears really don't have a black outline at all. They're just very red. So I'm going to color these red first, and then I'm going to go for my Sharpie in time lapse, and then I'm going to color in the whole thing. So you can watch me do that, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw Alpakizi today. I hope you drew him too, and I'll see you next time.